She's now referred to as Katherine the Bane.
This sounds suspiciously Tuvaluvian.
I mean, this is as good a time to get away with murder as ever.
Women are so dumb, they can't be held responsible for their actions.
You got a Google alert set up for those docs?
Commonwealth, Commonwealth, the former empire, now Commonwealth. Is it relevant? Probably not. But why not give this part a shot? Stay tuned. Here comes Uncommonwealth, the podcast.
And we're live from our respective virtual podcast studios all around the world. It's the Uncommonwealth podcast.
Hey!
Yeah, let's go.
Hey.
Yeah.
All right. Today I'm going to start by talking about a little island. When I say little, I mean extremely little. The smallest country in the Commonwealth, and in fact, the second smallest country in the world after the Vatican City, which I don't think really counts. So I'm talking about the actual smallest country in the world. Of course, I'm talking about the Commonwealth country of Tuvalu.
Oh,
Tuvalu.
Tuvalu. Of course.
Tuvalu.
Of course.
Tivo, Tuvalu, Tuvalu. Tuvalu is an island country in Polynesia. It is close to Samoa and Fiji. It is about halfway between Hawaii and Australia. So that's where it is, in the absolute middle of nowhere in the Pacific. It's 26 square kilometers of landmass, so 10 square miles total.
Can you put that in perspective?
I mean, what's 10 square miles? Manhattan? Is Manhattan bigger than that? I think the entire country is smaller than Manhattan. I could be wrong.
Wow.
Okay, so that is very small.
It has a population in 2017 of 11,192 people, according to the census. So absolutely tiny in size and in population. The first inhabitants were Polynesians from Samoa and Tonga, who came over on their sort of...
Is this one of those places that's going to be underwater in 10 years and we really shouldn't bother worrying about it?
I'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
It's a parliamentary democracy. The Queen has a representative who's appointed by the Prime Minister of Tuvalu. She is still on the flag, the reigning monarch. But it is interesting today, beyond all those interesting things that I already bored you to tears with, it is interesting because the country code domain in the internet world is .tv. So the country of Tuvalu actually rents out the .tv to media companies.
No way.
And
That is pretty
10% of their revenue, 10% of the country's entire revenue is from renting out the .tv domain name to television companies.
I'm surprised it's not more than 10% within a population of 11,000. Yeah,
What's the other 90%? Coconut water or something? Like
10% is like $10 a month.
Yeah.
All right, no shitting on Tuvalu.
Are those the kinds of islands that the U.S. blew up in the nuclear testing in like the 1950s?
The French, that's where the French tested their nukes.
Oh, is it really?
I think so, very close to that, yeah.
They're exporting a lot of three-headed frozen fish. That's their other 90%.
Oh, who was that? The
Vanuatu, right?
Vanuatu, yeah.
Vanuatu.
Yes, but the country was actually thought to be going underwater a few years ago until a New Zealand MP trying to prove that climate change wasn't real used Tuvalu as an example, saying that it actually grown by 800 square meters in the last 14 years as opposed to sinking. So it's a pawn in the global game of conspiracy theories about world
So wait, is it
climate
sinking or
change.
not? I'm still
climate
confused.
change. What's that? It's not.
Oh, it's not.
They used the University of Auckland in New Zealand did a study over the last 14 years. It's actually gained in landmass using satellite imagery.
Wow.
Pierce, when you did your research on this, did you talk to a travel? What are those guys? What do they call the travel? A travel person, a travel
Travel agent.
tourist, a travel agent,
A flight bookaroo.
I'm flight booker guy. So that is Vanuatu, and yeah,
It's not Vanuatu.
That's not Vanuatu. It's Tuvalu.
Tuvalu.
Whatever.
Tuvalu is also what I say after I sneeze.
It just makes it sound like Toodaloo to me. If every time you say it, I feel like you're saying goodbye. You're like, oh, Tuvalu, see you tomorrow.
Yeah.
Uncommonwealth.
Okay, I got a new segment. It is going to be Uncommonwealthers. Where are they now?
Ooh.
And the first Uncommonwealther, where is she now, is Princess Diana.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I think everyone here is very familiar with where she is right now.
That's not
Jimmy.
okay, that's not the segment. That's not the segment. I just
Where
wanted
is
to...
she
This is some
buried?
Australian idea of a joke.
No, sorry about that, Piers. Okay, no, the new segment is Uncommonwealth profiles, and the first profile is famous Uncommonwealther, none other than Agatha Christie.
Ooh.
Before I get into it, do you know any Agatha Christie fun facts before I spoil them
Murder
all?
on the Orient Express.
Yeah, she killed someone on the train. That is right.
That's right.
Yeah.
I always assumed she looked like Angela Lansbury.
Why do you assume that?
Didn't Angela Lansbury play one of her famous characters?
Murder He Wrote kind of felt like an Agatha Christie type.
Well,
Oh,
very-
yeah.
Okay, so Agatha Christie, obviously a well-known English novelist known for her detective novels, of which she wrote 66.
Wow.
She was a very prolific author. She's kind of like a successor to Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, author of Sherlock Holmes. But between Sir Arthur Conan Doyle and Agatha Christie, they kind of invented a lot of the kind of formula and tropes and things that we now consider like staples of detective stories.
Mm.
So they kind of not invented the genre, but revolutionized and fine-honed it. So in terms of book sales, tell me where you think she ranks. And I'll just give you some other famous authors. John Grisham, he's sold 250 million books globally in his career. Stephen King's 350. J.K. Rowling, she's 500 million. Where do you reckon Agatha Christie ranks?
I think she'd be right below Rowling.
I think she's. I think I'm gonna go double Rowling.
Double? So a billion?
A billion.
Okay. Piers, you're usually really good, spot on with these random guesses.
Yep.
I think she's on par with Stephen King.
With Stephen
300
King.
million.
Yeah, Stephen King's 350 million. J.K. Rowling's 500 million.
I'm putting her at 300.
Agatha Christie's book sales are 2 billion.
Wow.
Insane.
Yeah.
She is second in sales. She is third in sales only to William Shakespeare
Wow.
and the Bible.
What?
I'd buy that.
Believe the
She's been
Bible
around for
sells that well.
well, because she would have been translated into every Commonwealth
That's a
country
fun fact.
language.
So she's sold 1 billion books in
Yeah.
English and 1 billion books in other
Yeah.
languages. She is the
Yeah.
most translated author ever.
And
Does
a
the
lot
Bible
of
come in all languages?
yeah, probably.
Originally written in Hebrew, I believe,
Yeah.
or Greek. I can't remember which. I haven't.
And a lot of people
Is that
think
why
that
it's so bad? Because it's translated into English?
all the
Define
like-
bad. Like not true or like poorly written. Like, it's not
Catherine's-
literature.
Have you ever tried to read it like from front to back? Like I actually have. It's just
Well, if you read it in Hebrew, it's right
Boring.
to left. But
That's Catherine's one complaint. It's just not a riveting read. Where's the plot twist? Damn it!
it doesn't really grab you, you know.
All right, some more. Okay, so during both world wars, she worked at hospital dispensariaries. She worked as an apothecary or a pharmacist, essentially.
Oh wow.
So she learned in real life all the intricacies of poisons. That's why essentially all of her books involve poisonings. So she literally learned on the job about all these unique and novel poisons and then wrote about them in her books. Another crazy fact. So in 1926, Agatha Christie disappeared. Don't know if you guys knew this. I didn't realize this about her. So she, at the time, had been married for 12 years, and her husband had basically just had admitted to her that he was in love with another woman and wanted a divorce. And Agatha Christie's car was found abandoned miles from her house, like on the edge of a kind of quarry thing.
what?
It'd been in like a crash, and no one knew where she was. There was like a national manhunt. The police, there were like
Woman
thousands of
Yeah, why were they hunting for a
volunteers.
man?
That was the problem. They were looking for
No
a
wonder
man.
they couldn't
That's why
find-
they
no
didn't find
wonder they didn't
They
find
were
her.
out there looking for penises, and they
She's
And
like,
so-
they'll never find
no,
me.
never mind it. But so it turned out she 10 days later, she was like found in air quotes just at a hotel nearby. But people think that she had essentially attempted suicide and was kind of just really embarrassed about all these things that happened and hadn't realized the level of national manhunt and just hid.
I feel like she would have done it with some sort of fancy
poison?
oriental poison, yeah, rather than driving into a ditch on purpose.
The podcast.
Okay, well, I have a little tidbit for you. From a Commonwealth country, it's not Vanuatu or Tuvalu, even though we've barely gone beyond those two. It's a country called Lesotho. The kingdom officially the Kingdom of Lesotho, which is a tiny, tiny, tiny country within South Africa. It's like a miniature state, similar to like Vatican City or San Marino, like a micro state, they call
Are you
it.
sure this isn't Tuvalu? This
I
sounds
know.
suspiciously Tuvaluvian.
But
Ooh,
what this
I
is
like
actually a sub prime minister segment disguised as a random facts about countries segment.
Why did you feel the need to disguise a segment that we actively promote?
We have intro music for that segment.
We wrote.
You don't
a
have to
jingle.
hide.
We
I
wrote a jingle.
forgot until
We have a jingle,
right
that's
now where I was going with this. So I was thinking it was just Lesotho information, but it's not. I have very interesting news about the Prime Minister of Lesotho. His name is Tom the Bane.
Wait, what? That sounds like a
Bane?
street fighter, not a prime minister.
Thabane.
Oh, okay.
Am I saying that right? I don't know.
I think that's a Batman villain.
Yeah,
Bueller?
I thought you said Tom
Bueller.
the Bane, like
Tom
like
the Bane.
Ivan the Relentless.
He's an interesting man. He's been married 3 times, and in March 2020, his wife
Disappeared.
was his wife was formally charged with the murder of his previous wife.
Whoa.
And the prime minister was like, he hasn't been formally charged, but he was apprehended or like arrested because they think he was in on it. Like he tried to kill the wife as well.
Oh.
They hired a gang.
Mongoose
and
gang?
there's just
A mongoose
more
gang.
trial mongoose gang. Trial documents are just coming out now. So this happened in February, March, and there's more and more information coming out.
You got a Google alert set up for those docs?
So we'll
Emergency
continue to
prod.
update you.
I mean, this is as good a time to get away with murder as ever. I mean,
Oh.
if ever you wanted to bump someone off, COVID would have been great.
Why?
Well, just people are looking elsewhere.
If you got to go get rid of a body or something and there's less traffic and stuff, there's less chance of like, you know.
Yeah.
And also, you know what? I'm in quarantine right now. If someone killed me while in quarantine, people wouldn't know for 14 days.
Exactly.
Yeah, who's that
That's-
behind
Thank
you?
I get spooked
Oh yeah,
very
Catherine, she
easily.
died. COVID. Got it. Like, why is she missing her head?
She's now referred to as Katherine the Bane.
Catherine, I do like how you combined both Piers' segment and my segment into your segment. Like
On the
small,
fly.
small
She riffed that
Commonwealth
whole thing. The guy doesn't even
and
the guy doesn't
murder
even exist.
mystery. Yeah, that's so spicy.
He's obviously gonna have. It is very spicy. He's gonna have to give up all.
Oh yes, high degree of spice. Actually, I agree.
Very spicy.
Uncommonwealth.
Well, speaking of spicy, let's do a strange laws from India, true or false. And the first one is actually interesting because that fun fact about Agatha Christie kind of plays into it. So I'll read the strange law. You tell me if it's true or false. The first one is, in India, a successful suicide is legal, but a failed suicide attempt is illegal.
I do agree with that policy. The
But
thing
was-
is, if you're successful, what are you gonna do to punish the person?
That's what I'm saying. Is the logic just
So it's
that if
practical. It's kind of
right,
a practical
you're
law,
not
I
gonna,
guess, yeah.
You're not going to charge a dead person.
So do you think that's
I think
true?
that's true.
It
Yeah,
is-
I believe that.
True.
Okay, it is true. All right, second
Oh, wow,
strange
you're
law.
telling us as we go. This is new.
Yeah. Second strange law in India. You need good teeth to become a motor vehicle inspector.
Absolutely 100% true.
I'm glad I think you weren't going to say which one. Absolutely 100%. Like,
What is the rationale? Like they're not even.
It
They're
just
always grumpy
sounds-
as well, so they're not smiling. So what does it matter? How would you
don't-
know?
I mean, I don't know. The
I don't buy
rationale.
it.
Piers?
Some countries care a lot about teeth, and it's like a respect thing, or it's like a professionalism. Like
Maybe
you
they're trying
have
to
dress a
differentiate
certain
themselves
way.
from
Which
the-
countries? Which
We're in
I
India.
don't, Pierce.
Maybe they're just trying to differentiate themselves from the British.
Oh, shots fired.
Exactly.
We didn't leave behind good teeth, just democracy.
Democracy.
That one is also true.
What?
Yes.
I
also
knew it.
True. Right.
I told you.
Here's the next one. This is a fun one. In India, only men can be adulterous. The gender discriminatory law states that while men can be sentenced to jail for adultery if reported, the women of the country can go around making as many liaisons with other men as they please.
True.
So a man had to have made the law.
Why?
Wouldn't
Be the opposite then?
Wouldn't it be the opposite?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm going false.
Wait, what?
Oh, I see what you're saying. The men would have made
Men
the
can
laws. So
cheat?
therefore,
I thought that was the law.
no, the law
No,
is
it's the
that men
opposite.
can't, women can.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, that's,
I don't think that's true.
that doesn't make sense. I misheard.
It's true.
Whoa.
What?
It's true.
Really?
Yeah,
I
crazy.
was
Rose
just
before
saying because
hose.
women are so dumb, they can't be held responsible for their actions. Like maybe that's just like a lack of respect.
Don't project
for the
yourself over an entire country's.
Catherine, that's not a very nice thing to say. How I don't understand what the logic would be for that.
I don't
How
know.
that
either.
comes to. I feel very unsatisfied knowing that these are all true, but not getting any follow up as to why they're true.
Because we're going to do one more. That's
I
what
think a very lonely man came up with that. He just wanted all the women to know that it was okay.
Here's the final one. The Indian Aircraft Act of 1934 considers a kite to also be an aircraft, thus making it necessary to get a permit to fly a kite.
Yes.
Is this where the phrase "go fly a kite" originated?
But I bet they don't need permits for drones.
I'll probably do if you need one for a kite.
I think
No,
you would.
because it hasn't, like, the laws haven't been updated yet.
Oh, well then that would be true anywhere then.
Catherine just within the last 30 seconds became like a scholar on Indian legislation.
In such a weird mood.
Like the Empire, we're almost done. We hope that you've had lots of fun. Was it relevant? Probably not. But thanks for giving this part a shot. Stay tuned for the end of Uncommon Wealth, the podcast. Stay tuned for Uncommon Takes.
Some more Agatha Christie fun facts. Fuck, I'm already out of time. God damn, I barely gotten into it. Okay, all right. Final fun fact. So Hercule Poirot, one of her two famous characters, when she killed him in like his final book, because he was such a famous literary character, his obituary was printed on the front page of the New York Times.
Another fun fact is in editing the podcast, Jimmy's segments are always twice as long as everyone else's.
I can't stop myself.
No, I didn't know that she had disappeared like that. That's crazy.
I want you guys to know that if I disappear, it's not because my husband and I broke up. It's because of...
Catherine, you're really fixating on this.
You got to remember to edit out all these references.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Uncommon Wealth.
Christie she
That's
also wrote the
amazing.
longest running Broadway play.
No, Jimmy, you're done. What are you talking about?
So many fun facts.
She also wrote the longest.
Not Broadway, West
Um,
End, of course. So go ahead, Catherine. What were you going to say?
Oof, something inappropriate.
Oh, good.
Someone save the episode quick.
Yeah.
Uncommon Wealth, the podcast.